Hello, I'm Leo.
Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you where you're originally from and how did you come here?
Okay, I am actually, my mother is Finnish, Swedish speaker origins, and my father is Spanish. So I was born in Madrid, and we were kind of raised in Santiago de Compostela, Galicia, because my father got a work in there. And we were coming with my mother every summer anyway here to visit my grandmother anyway, but I'm raised in Spain.
And you came to study in Finland or how did you?
Yeah, I actually 99 I ended, so to say, my high school, do you call it like that? It was this kind of art, how do you, section, or how do you say? And somehow it was kind of turbulent times for me, you know, the teenage times,
Yeah.
and things were a little bit crickled. And I don't know, I kind of realized that it could be interesting to come to Finland, back to the roots. And it was perfect timing because my mother's mother had died some years before, and she kind of got some money and bought an apartment in Kallio, one etta, so to call, one room apartment. And then I said, okay, perfect. There is an apartment to crash anyway. And I asked my mother. My mother said, that's a really brilliant idea, and please go, and it's good for you. And I kind of it was meant to be 1 year, and I stayed 2 decades. I'm going to the 21 now years here.
You're a painter, so I wanted to ask you what inspires you and what is that connects you to your art?
Okay, it's like it has been developed quite much. I have been working non-stop since I came here, actually, to Finland. Basically, I studied in the Kuva-taide Academia, the art school of Helsinki University. And the things has been developing a lot. The thing is that quite many things interests me, but you have to come to some kind of point in life that you have to kind of, stay with the simplicity somehow, to kind of, reduce your things. And somehow, right now, the strongest point is existentialism, and I kind of touch existential subjects and identity, and I am very interested on the world of appearances somehow. Yeah. So things that kind of appear to be something that maybe it's not, and things like that. So a little bit mysterious kind of paths, iconically speaking. And it connects me because I'm how could I say, I am very anthropological, can we say, like very interested on humans and their behaviors, and we are so different from each other, and that kind of inspires me somehow, what we have in the unconscious, and what we kind of, are. So I deal quite much also with the idea of persona, Carl Jung and all those things as well, psychologically speaking. So basically I think that's the main thing, the main subject.
Yeah, but I can see that you're very skilled in what you do.
Thank you.
And I was thinking about the blue and white porcelain because
it's a kind of, there is some things that appears in my art that are kind of unconscious, but they seem to be very important for some reason. And that's what I love. They are kind of very basic and very important for me, but I don't really understand it even myself. But I kind of do connections with these objects and human organics, how hair and...
Yeah.
So it's a kind of, contraposition between those two elements somehow. And the objects that kind of, leads anyway to some remembrance and nostalgia. And I don't know, maybe it's in the back of my head and someday it will pop out and I will understand why. But it's kind of basic now, very important icon in my work at the moment.
Also, I find them very beautiful.
Okay,
so.
Thank you. They are very aesthetic,
yes.
Because for me it's very important that art is deep, but also very aesthetic somehow. Yes. It's like the combination of all those two things. It's a basic tool, very important for me. That it has to be kind of, I don't mean beautiful, but aesthetic in some degree, So
Kallio is your home.
Yes, it is, and it has been for quite a long time now, 2 decades.
What do you like about Kallio?
Kallio has been changing a lot since I came in '99. Kallio was really rough in some kind of, beautiful way as well, because for me, the character of a place is anyway very important. And it has been, we can call it maybe gentrification. There has been a quite positive gentrification, for my opinion. There is a lot of nice restaurants, not too fancy, also combined with a little bit more basic bars and things. We have 2 wonderful public saunas, by the way. My favorite is Arla sauna, by the way. And anyway, I think it's quite like the boheme, it's the bohemisk city part of the city, of Helsinki, still, anyway. Workers' district also, because I guess it used to be, I am actually living in one of those workers. They were big families living in the place I am living now alone, so it's like a pretty big privilege I am kind of conscious about, and that's why they are so small. Anyway, because there were workers living on the places. And
now there is students or
and
artists
also
living.
True.
And one person in an apartment, there used to be 8 people.
Exactly, the whole family. Yeah. So we have to remember that and be privileged and thank you every day.
So who would you like me to interview next?
Well, I think Marc Helfer would be a perfect candidate. He's a French origin, he's from Paris, and I think he's very important. I think he has been living here also pretty long time. I don't know exactly how many years, but I think he is an important element also of Kallio, for my opinion. So
I'm really happy to interview him.
That's good. Yeah.
And thank you, Leonor. Mm-hmm. So nice. You're going to be one of my documentary.
My pleasure.